Blog Talk Radio.
Man, we dedicate our life to this sport. We do thousands of sit-ups in camp. We run hundreds of miles, for the ones that take it serious. And we just dedicate ourselves fully to our craft, man. We watch tape. We attitude, we rooting, and we go into that fight to land on the line.
Fans, this is the Rope-A-Dope Radio Podcast. I am your host, Chris Carlson. We are live on a Wednesday morning. Top of the morning to you, UK fans. West Coast edition. Very late, but that's okay. That is okay. Blog Talk only allows for one show, live streaming anyway, a night. So here we are, West Coast edition. Sorry, East Coasters. Sorry, UK. Well, it really doesn't matter. UK, you guys are getting up now. But, yeah, here we are. I had a vacation last week. I was able to put out a little bit of content before I got the hell out of Dodge. And I literally hit the road running when I hung up on the show. I didn't really hang up on the show. Well, I did on Skype, I suppose. But anyway, had a good time in the water, swimming, just relaxing, doing some fishing, just chilling with the family, hanging out, tipping a couple back, putting something in the air. It was fun. It was a whole lot of fun. We got a holiday weekend coming up this weekend here in the States. So, yeah, I'm definitely recharged, refreshed, and all that good stuff. Obviously, we're going to talk a variety of stuff, right? Canelo and Kovalev are two fighters that are being discussed widely in the sport of boxing for obvious reasons. There's potential they may fight November 2nd. Now, there's a little, like a minor bit of update when it comes to that subject that I will update you with. Where they stand. It kind of was leaked out one-sidedly that Kovalev's team was trying to push the fight back. We'll give you an update on that, but obviously we're going to start with Kovalev knocking out Anthony Yarde. Okay, we're gonna start it right then and there because that was a great back and forth fight, very entertaining. It was pretty much even. After 4 rounds, looked like Cove was starting to get pull away, got hurt, and like I said, ended up stopping him as well. So it was definitely a fun fight to watch. So we'll definitely, we'll recap that. That's where we'll start, and we'll talk all that Kovalev stuff as well, or that Canelo-Kovalev stuff as well, and then kind of a quick review of the other items that were last week in the PBC on FS1. DAZN and Juan Francisco Estrada got the job done against Willie Beeman. I'm just kidding. Beeman actually gave a good account for himself. I know I'm calling him Willie Beeman. It's just because his last name in that movie, dude. So what am I going to do? Any given Sunday, what am I going to do? You know what I mean? But he did fight hard. He actually did fight hard. There was a fight, I believe, from Japan as well that I'll briefly talk about. So we'll definitely start with recap. Then we'll look at this weekend. The big headliner is Lomachenko and Campbell live on ESPN Plus. Once again, ESPN Plus giving us quality stuff, but where has ESPN been, unfortunately? But ESPN Plus is definitely, like I said, giving us some quality stuff this year. Lomachenko and Campbell live from the O2 Arena in London. The PBC on Fox has a card as well. You know, the main, or the co-feature, I should say, actually is off because Caleb Truax got hurt. Quillen and Truax was like a crossroads, you know, mid-level fight that was going to lead to Caleb Plant. So I'm really bummed that's off the card. They did replace it with a heavyweight fight. There is a grip of fights. You could tell that they want to just get some dudes out and get them, you know, just like, hey, just get a run. There's like 17 freaking fights scheduled right now. The fights start 4 Central. And the TV fights, the main card doesn't start till 7. So there's going to be fights before and after, for Christ's sakes. But anyway, I'm going to be there live because it's obviously, you know, it's in Minneapolis at the Armory. So I'm gonna head on down there, but I'll definitely have ESPN Plus with me on the phone. So we're definitely going to break that down. Lomachenko-Campbell. Does Campbell have a shot at beating one of the best, if not the best, pound-for-pound fighter in the world, Vasyl Lomachenko? You got a 2-time gold medalist from the Ukraine and a 1-time gold medalist. That even sounds kind of stupid to say. A 1-time gold medalist. A gold medalist, for Christ's sakes. They're fighting. No, southpaw against southpaw. You know, a lot of people are interested in this fight based off of 2 things. One, Lomachenko and Linares, not this May, but last May, and how back and forth that was. And it was a good fight. Lomachenko got dumped on his britches. I don't think I've ever put that in a sentence, but he got dropped on the canvas, got up and stopped him. Now, Campbell fought a very tight fight with Linares, so I kind of feel like, I guess Campbell and Linares, they don't fight the same, but they fight on the outside. So I think a lot of people are kind of just going with that. Campbell definitely has a reach, too, if he can keep Lomachenko's fast-ass feet off him. So we're going to talk about that, predict that, and whatnot. Like I said, we'll talk Canelo-Kovalev. 2 fights got announced, or I shouldn't say announced. Let me run that back, okay? 2 fights are heavily talked about. One of them, it does seem like it's happening. Teofimo Lopez and Richard Commey on December 14th. That would happen on the co-feature on ESPN to Terrence Crawford. It sounds like Terrence Crawford in the Mean Machine, which is, a mediocre fight. But that Teofimo Lopez and Richard Commey, that's a bomb fight. December 14th, after the Heisman Trophy Awards ceremony. You know, ESPN has given Top Rank, what is this, the 3rd year in a row? I think it is, 3rd year in a row. Anyway, that same night over on Fox, presumably, that's what the schedule says right now. We don't have an official announcement, but December 14th, we already know that the rematch between J-Rock, Julian Williams, and Jarrett Hurd is going down in Brooklyn at the Barclays Center. Sounds like it's a strong rumor that Charlo and Harrison, the rematch, part 2, is going to be on that card as well, and that would be phenomenal to put those 2 together. Now, some people are like, oh, that's going to be a pay-per-view now. Well, hold on. We don't know that. We do not know that. And that would be, 3 weeks behind Ortiz and Wilder? Anyway, I really hope it's not a pay-per-view, but that's a damn good doubleheader if they put that together. Speaking of put that together, there has been some progress made with Prograis and Taylor, thank goodness. An undercard fight that looks like it's getting signed too. Leo Santa Cruz is in the news. Austin Trout is randomly in the news. We'll get to all of that. Oh, yeah, Terrence Crawford, Joe Rogan's had several boxers on now. It's kind of nice. Sounds like Andre Ward's coming down the pipe on his interview show. I like the Rogan show. I mean, I like it because he has a wide variety of guests, so I can kind of pick and choose who I want to listen to. and who I have interest in. And I can also stop an interview and be like, yeah, I'm good. You know what I mean? But anyway, he had Terrence Crawford on, and it was a pretty good interview, especially for to be honest, Terrence Crawford, right? He's kind of more of a laid back dude, you know. But he said something. He said this a couple months ago, and I thought he was just drunk. You know how these fighters, Spence. Remember Spence was popping all that crap when he was drunk. You know, he wasn't drunk like at a fight, like around his event or anything like that. But it was I think it was at a Barclays fight. Remember Spence started popping off at the mouth because Spence is a quiet dude too. Now he's opening up more because he knows he needs to be a promoter himself and promote, you know, and all that. But there's just some things that Crawford is just hard-headed about, you know. And everybody, I mean, like Wilder saying, you know, the Showtime crew was way off, dude. Like, way off. Anybody that had, you know, Fury winning is just biased. That's not true. That's not true. You know, fighters get emotional. A lot of people on Twitter get emotional as well, but they make fun of these fighters getting emotional. I do to an extent, but I understand. I mean, it's embarrassing. There's just certain things that happens when you're in the limelight that you just can't really relate to. And so you kind of knee jerk. You kind of knee jerk some stuff, right? A lot of camps can't tell the truth and all that, but some of the things he said about the Spence fight, like I said, he said this a couple months ago, and I really felt like he was just buzzed, but he wasn't drunk in this one. So we'll get to that as well. Terrence Crawford, like I said, you should check out that interview. It was him and his trainer, too. So that was kind of, was it Bomac, right? That was kind of cool to have them on. It's a great platform. You know what I mean? So yeah, we'll just talk a variety of stuff. And obviously, you know, before we get started, if this is your first time listening to the Rope-A-Dope Radio podcast, it streams live right here on blogtalkradio.com/Rope-A-Dope Radio. So it streams live and it archives. It's basically the headquarters here. However, you can check out the Rope-A-Dope Radio podcast on iTunes, a.k.a. Apple Podcasts, Player FM, Stitcher, Spreaker, TuneIn. We get a lot of listens through TuneIn, all across the board. Spotify. In fact, for Spotify and TuneIn, you can use your Siri and Alexa to go right to it. We're also part of the Grueling Truth Sports Podcast Network. That can be found everywhere as well, iTunes, Spotify, also on iHeartRadio. In fact, why don't you head on over to thegruelingtruth.net. That's thegruelingtruth.net. They got a great sponsor over there, betnowdsi.eu. That's betnow.eu. Or betnowdsi.eu. I'm just killing this thing, aren't I? They got a promo code over there, TGT. That's TGT as in the Grueling Truth. Oh yeah, real quick. Okay, it's not DirecTV Now anymore. It's AT&T Now. If you're thinking about cutting the cable cord, or you know the expensive cable cord, I should say, or you've cut the cord and you're not happy, football is coming around, you want to watch some shit, check out AT&T Now. 7-day free trial, no annual contracts. They got the cloud DVR. You can stream it anywhere. The plans start as low as $50 a month. HBO is included in the Plus and Max packages, okay? So check out AT&T Now. It's a live streaming service, cable streaming service. Like I said, 7-day free trial, or give it a try for $50 a month. All righty. Now, obviously, like I said, the best fight of the weekend heading in and in the ring was Kovalev and Yarde, right? Obviously, Sergey Kovalev, Anthony Yarde, and it lived up to its billing. It was a good fight. It was a competitive fight. In fact, I think you could make an argument it was 2-2 after 4. I think you could make an argument. You know, the first round's tough. For me, the first round was a little tough to exactly judge. Could have went either way. I gave it to Yarde, but I didn't quite know. But yeah, like I said, I had it 2-2 after 4. Then it seemed like Kovalev had that stiff and steady jab pretty much a good chunk of the fight. Whereas Yarde, he'd throw some right hands. He was showing some good hand speed and trying to counter with left hooks and whatnot. But I thought the jab was key, and obviously it ended the fight as well. But I thought, I had Kovalev winning the 4th. He started landing some quick combos and a right hand behind that jab. But the 4th, 5th, and 6th, to me, he was outclassing him, outworking him. If Yarde would try to close, he would close right back. He was starting to pull away. That's what it looked like. All right, you had a couple of rounds in the beginning where it was a tight fight. It's starting to go your way now. And by the 5th round, you could see Yarde tired. You could see him fading, right? And we heard, in the lead up, Anthony Yarde's a guy that doesn't spar. And you're just thinking, you don't spar at all? Like, not even like lightly? Not even like maxing out at 8 rounds or something? It's strange, especially for a fighter that's never gone the full distance. It just doesn't line up. Hopefully he gets that shit figured out. But I'll tell you what, credit to him. I said he was fading in like the 5th and 6th. I mean, Yarde started putting in that body work, and that was going to be a key. We talked about the jab being a key that would open up, the rest of his offense for Kovalev. Well, going to the body on Kovalev is like the way you try to beat him, and he closed stronger in the 7th round, did Yarde, and that really started to turn the fight. It was really interesting how quickly it turned, and next thing you know, it's the 8th round, and Kovalev is the one looking faded. Kovalev is like really looking kind of hurt, and you're thinking, dude, couple left hooks, huge right hand. I think the last 40 seconds, Kovalev was badly hurt. Good, two-way stuff. Kovalev did rally some, but it did not. It looked bad. It was like, all right, dude, here we go. He's going to get knocked out. But, I credited Yarde for coming back right when it looked like he was starting to downturn. Well, Kovalev, the very next round, came right back. He was busier, got his jab and right hand going. And Buddy McGirt, between the 8th and 9th round, Buddy McGirt, Kovalev's new trainer, 2 fights in now, right? I think 2 or 3. He's basically like, hey, dude, you got to show me something. You're taking too many shots. You got to show me something. And he was also giving a lot of good advice in general. I mean, Buddy McGirt, this is a great match. This is a great match. It's really worked well. And Kovalev just got back on his game plan. Started landing the jab again, like I mentioned. Started actually landing the jab with even more pressure. And by the end of the 10th round, he had Yarde on the rope, flurrying on him. And I think right around the minute mark, probably about 70 seconds or something, you could see Yarde was starting to take some shots. And a big left hand, it was a straight jab that just caught him perfect. And it put him on his ass, and you could kind of tell that Yarde just wasn't going to get up. I don't know if he was, out for a split second and he was just dazed, if he was just tired, if he was hurt, if it was all a combination of all 3. But he didn't get up. So, Yarde, for this being his, first big fight, there's something there. There is definitely something there. And I know that kind of sounds stupid, but, obviously the guy had under 30 fights for the amateurs. And this was just his 19th fight or something like that. So, he needs to go back to the drawing board, obviously. But there's plenty of potential there. It's just really a matter of how much you want to dedicate yourself. Obviously, hold on now. I'm not saying oh boy doesn't dedicate himself at all or nothing like that, right? I'm not saying that. But I don't know, dude. Like, to me, I just don't think, I don't know. I just don't understand the thought process of not fully sparring. And maybe we heard it like he did spar a little bit, but he last month he doesn't spar, so I don't know. But for a guy that doesn't have a lot of experience at the amateurs or pro level, and he basically hadn't fought anybody worth a damn in the top 15 or anything, or top 20 probably, right? Yeah, for sure. And so it's just weird. Like, wouldn't you want to spar like a solid dude just to be in there? That's pretty freaking shaky, dude. That's pretty freaking shaky. Let's just put it that way. So Kovalev moves on, and now, well, you know what? We'll talk a little bit about the Kovalev and Canelo when we get to news, and we'll breeze through some of that. But let's just kind of put it there. It was the fight of the weekend, no doubt about it. Definitely the fight of the weekend. As far as the PBC on FS1, the main event, we figured it was a showcase fight to make, Brandon Figueroa look good in front of his home crowd. They came out. It was a nice crowd. They were loud anyway. It wasn't a huge crowd, but it was definitely loud. And he took care of, he took care of business. I mean, shit, it was just a body attack. He, stunned them really bad in the fourth. The punch, just after not even four full rounds, 96-18. So, yeah, there wasn't much in that fight, kind of like we knew on paper. I was, however, looking forward to the co-feature, Fulton and Avalar. I almost said Avenular. Avalar, 16-0 and 16-0 going head-to-head. I was very interested in that one, and that was a pretty good fight. Avalar, I had actually winning the first round. To me, it was a competitive round, but to me, he just landed a few better shots. But it seemed like Fulton just took over from there. He started landing his jab, his overhand right behind it, left hooks. In the third round, Avalar was cut on the right eye pretty bad. He was just the busier fighter, cleaner shots. At times, Avalar, the first, the fifth, he had moments, but just nowhere near enough. And like I said, Fulton took care of business. It's kind of a two-way sixth round. And Fulton, I think it was a left hook, just a short left hook to the body, dropped him, and it was done. You could see Avalar was just done, dude. It was a wrap. So a very good, what is it, Steven? Is that what it was? Stephen Fulton? I can't remember what the first name is, but, it is what it is. There wasn't a whole lot else beyond that card, but it actually did its, second or third best rating? I think it's the second best rating. It peaked over 400,000, and that's just on FS1. It did have a double header. I think it was the LA and I think it was the Dodgers and the Yankees the first game, like the mid-afternoon game. And then there was a game that led into the fight later. So it was a doubleheader on FS1. And although that made it late, it still helped out the ratings. In fact, the second one, the boxing overall did better than the second MLB game on FS1. Of course, it didn't do as good as the Yankees game. I think it was the Dodgers and the Yankees, if I remember correctly. So that's a positive. Obviously not a great main event there. But yeah, the whole card averaged 345 and peaked at 421. And that's peaking basically over 500,000, including Fox Deportes. And, ESPN Deportes is involved with the ESPN as well. And so that little, doesn't seem like much, but it is a nice little boost at times for that. So, like I said, it's a positive, but wasn't much in the main event. We'll see where Figueroa goes next. Main thing is they're keeping him active. You know, they brought him home now. So, yeah, you know, this whole summer has just really featured a lot of hometown fights. And that's obviously a good look, no doubt about it. As far as, let's see the show box real quick. The main event, Ware in, what is it, Shishkin? Shishkin? I think it's Vladimir Shishkin. Shishkin took care of business, dude. He dominated this fight. There was a little give and take at times, but Shishkin had like a snappy-ass jab in either a choppy right hand or just a nice straight right hand. He was the busier guy. He was really started, like, by the fourth and fifth round, he started amping up the body work and just overall the heavy shots. And DeAndre Ware was starting to slow down. You could see it clear as day. Those heavy shots were adding up, and by the sixth round, he was taking so much punishment. 6th, 7th. By the eighth round, the corner threw the towel in, basically right when the ref was going to jump in. And, you know, DeAndre Ware was like, hey, man, I'm good. We're fine. And, you know, he's showing a lot of heart, and I respect that, but it was a good stoppage. If you look at the number for Shishkin, the Commey box, 254 lands to 86. And that's not through a full 8 rounds. 70-25 when it came to the body shots and 71-39. So he spread it around really well. Shishkin looks like there's something there. He's 9-0 right now. So we'll keep an eye on him. Showbox, you know, generally delivers either talented fighters or fun fights with unbeaten guys or prospects and whatnot. So pretty good main event. Pretty one-sided, though, I'd say. Then we go to DAZN. And this was from Mexico. And that was talking about a home crowd. That was a really good crowd that came out for Juan Francisco Estrada, one of my favorite fighter right now, to be honest with you. He was taking on Dwayne Beeman, and it's not Willie Beeman. I was just messing around. I liked what Willie Beeman. I know I was giving him shit for his name, and he didn't win, but what, 1 round, 2 rounds? 2 rounds probably, but Beeman came to fight, dude. The first round was very close. Beeman was flashing his hand speed. You could see that Estrada was landing counter hooks. Could have went either way. I had Estrada winning, obviously the second, because there were some early exchanges. There was late exchanges, a lot of action in this fight. But a short hook for the first knockdown dropped him. Then the second knockdown, I believe, was to the body. It's kind of like a body attack, and then he went back up to the head. Estrada was spreading it on him, and I thought, oh, boy, this is going to be Willie Beeman's not even going to be in the starting lineup. But to his credit, man, he fought back. I actually gave him the 5th round. He threw a nice jab and hooks a lot of the fight, but he actually pressured and was effective in the 5th round. Closer round in the 6th, I kind of feel like Estrada won it with clean shots. Really good action, especially down the stretch. But it did seem like in the 7th round, just to finish that sentence, but Estrada closed it out. He closed it out. And really closed out the rest of the fight. Once again, Beeman showing plenty of will and moxie. You know what I mean? The dude was starting to get lit up, and he wanted to keep fighting, dude. But yeah, I'd say it was probably a last minute of the round or so, the 8th round, Estrada landed a really, really hard right, and it led to a TKO about a minute in, 50 seconds into the 9th round. So Estrada, in a fun fight, like fun to watch. Both of them had skill. Beeman came in there 16-1-1, decent fighter, right? And I thought he kind of stepped up his level when he got in there with, such a technical mechanic in the ring with Juan Francisco Estrada. So we'll see where he goes. It sounds like they want to match him. I don't know if this is going to be in Mexico or if it's going to be in the UK, but with God, what the hell's his name? The UK dude. Oh my God, I'm just drawing a blank. Can't remember his name for some odd reason. I'm sure it'll pop in my head. Why can't I think of it? I really don't. I don't know what to tell you. I can't think of his name. Huh. Anyway, what the hell is his name? I don't get it. It's like I want to just say fuck it and just look up the name now. I'm not gonna do that. Anyway, yeah, I can't. I'm just completely vacation mind right now. Completely vacation mind still, I guess. I don't know. I've been back since Friday, so I don't know what's taking me so long to get my shit together. But is it Yafai? Why am I can't think of his damn name. Sorry, UK fans. I know this dude too. Is it Cal? Cal Yafai? Is that God? I can't. I don't know. I really don't know. But anyway, that'd be a decent fight. That'd be a good fight or whatever, you know. I can't remember dude's name, but I know it'd be a decent fight. So yeah, Estrada. He's the guy. Like I said, he's one of my favorite fighters. He is my favorite fighter. I keep having to straighten that out. But one more fight I wanted. I think it was from Japan. Oh, Tanaki and Gonzalez. Tanaki and Gonzalez. I think it was Jonathan Gonzalez. This was an interesting fight. They didn't get a ton. Well, I was going to say accomplished in the ring, like per round, but they were kind of all over the place as far as getting knocked down and all that. So it was an intriguing fight, pretty interesting fight between Tanaka and Gonzalez. First round, literally just a few lands. Gonzalez, maybe, you know. I actually, what did I? Oh, no, I think I went Tanaka, and I gave Gonzalez the second round. That's what it was. Gonzalez just kind of had, it was a slower round as well. It took a little while to heat up, but he kind of had this outside style, but he just wasn't that. Neither guy was overly effective, but Gonzalez, he'd get his little counters in from time to time, no doubt about it, but I don't know. He just had this outside kind of in and out style. But Tanaka landed a few nice right hands and then a late right hand to the body that knocked down Gonzalez. So in the third round, that's a 10-8 round, but Gonzalez pushes it to the next round. The fourth, he scores a knockdown, which kind of seemed like a push, to be honest with you. And the stream that I watched, the recorded stream, I should say, it didn't show the replay. So I never got to see if it was a legit one or not. But, to be honest with you, it didn't matter because Tanaka, not much was landed in the fifth round, but it was a good bounce back round where he didn't, take any more punishment or anything like that. Then he started landing the hooks to the head and body in the sixth round. Seventh round came around. Tanaki left uppercut and I believe a hook. A few body punches kind of led to a knockdown. Then he kind of flurried him, right? And kind of short punches, but a bunch of quick little flurries knocked him down again. And then more, flush combos. And that shit was done. TKO, it's over. Tanaki ends up winning. Like I said, it was a good fight. The only card I did run out of time, the Golden Boy card, I want to say Feliciano or something like that pulled off a win. I only could watch a short part of that. Was that on Facebook or was that on DAZN? I think it was on Facebook. Or wait, I got to go back and watch that. And there is going to be maybe a slower weekend coming up. So maybe not this weekend, but next weekend I think is slower. And I may try to go back and watch that because I heard now that I remember, I heard a bunch of good stuff about that card as far as comparing it, I guess, to other Golden Boy cards this year. Like it actually had some. It was good, and that's what I heard. So that about wraps it up for the weekend. As far as Kovalev and Canelo goes, so we all know November 2nd seems like the date, even though they better finish this shit up soon, because before you know it, dude, it's going to be like, we're getting close again. You got to make a fight here, Canelo. But, it was kind of like an unwritten, what am I saying? I was going to say unwritten rule, but I can tell it's a little late right now. I'm trying to think here. Yafai is that dude's name. Cal Yafai, is that what it is? I'm still trying to get that all the way out. But we just kind of assume that as long as Kovalev didn't get cut badly or something like that, that he'd be able to make this November 2nd date. And it's kind of a throwback feel to it a little bit, because he basically has about 2 weeks off, and then he can get a good enough camp in to fight. Now, he did take some damage mid-fight, and he was on the cusp of getting stopped. Like I said in the recap, you had Buddy McGirt, his trainer, basically saying, dude, you can't take these punches. You got to show me something. So to turn right around, both physically and mentally, might be a tough one. It might be a tough one. And it's not that he can't do it. Is he up for it? And so we started hearing little trickles, little murmurs of, well, Kovalev's, he doesn't want that date. He wants to push the fight back. He's basically like saying, I want the fight, but push it back, dude. Just push it back a little bit. So he's basically trying to say, nah, I don't want that date. And that was kind of like in my head, I thought, well, that would be possible. You know what I mean? Because, like I said, of the turnaround. And he did take, a fair amount of punishment. It's not like he was getting destroyed in there or anything like that. But like I said, he almost got stopped. By the way, Kovalev was up at the time of the stoppage, 98, 92, 97, 94, and 96, 93. I did forget to say that. I wanted to say that. Where is this quote here? So the rumor is he's balking at he's like, nah, dude, I don't want to fight then. Let's push it back. You can push it back. You're Canelo. And Canelo's like, nah, dude, it's November 2nd. That's my date. I already pushed it back from September in the Mexican Independence weekend. We gotta go. We gotta go November 2nd. Well, according to Keith Idek, who's a very trustworthy, solid dude on Twitter and, for boxing anyway, writing and whatnot, here's a little thing from Kathy Duva. This is what he tweeted. Kathy Duva told me this afternoon that neither she nor Sergey Kovalev have told Golden Boy Promotions, or anyone else for that matter, that Kovalev won't be available to fight Canelo Alvarez on November 2nd. So then it begs the question of, well, what the hell? How did that get out? Like, are you really trying to make this fight or no? Are we back to you guys are saying shit, but you're really not actually doing shit? Obviously, you're doing stuff, but I don't know, dude. It's kind of weird. It's like we're not on this again, are we? we're not doing this, are we? So, I really don't know, man. I hope they're not, messing around, because obviously they need to secure a fight for their guy, dude. Obviously, and I guess we don't. Maybe there's some stuff still going on. I mean, we really don't know. Maybe there is some stuff still going on behind the scenes, and people are still lawyering up. I have no clue, but from the sounds of it, we should know somewhat soon. So, they got to get this fucking thing figured out. So I think it's a really good fight. Kovalev is clearly past his prime. He's had weight issues in the past. He likes to party, right? So maybe this 2-week camp, getting out, relaxing for 2 weeks and jumping right back in it, maybe it'd be a blessing in disguise. A lot of people on Twitter, boxing Twitter as I call it, and many of us call it, the theme out there is, yeah, but you know what? LaMotta fought twice in a week and, all this stuff. And, yeah, these motherfuckers are hardcore. Now, could they talk after their career? That's a different thing. And I'm not ripping these dudes, but so many people get caught up and they should, they used to fight 17 times. Yeah, and all of them got brain damage, basically, if we're being honest. But a lot of people are like, they're putting up dates of, well, he fought this, and he was able to fight that guy. And that was a tough fight, and he fought that guy. And they're all saying, well, they shouldn't have a problem. This rest is nothing. You don't need rest. You just rest for a week, get back in camp. Like, dude, this is how the old-timers did it. Yeah, the old-timers did it that way, but we're not in the old time. We're not in the 90s even. So for a fight to get pushed back another month wouldn't be out of the ordinary to let a guy have a couple weeks, to be honest with you. I mean, he almost got stopped in the fight. So, I don't know. But a lot of people are just like, it's just funny. Like, it's some of these same people are the ones that are like, oh, boxing's not like it was in the 80s. It's like, dog, no fucking shit. And it hasn't been, and it's not going to be. So get over it. Like, you can complain, you can critique, but if you're always flashing back to the Four Kings and shit of the 1980s, no shit, dude. And, Ronnie Lott doesn't play anymore either. And if you lose big chunk of your finger, there's a lot of dudes that aren't going to put super glue on like Ronnie did. Like, this is it, dude. Like, this is how it goes. Look at Luck. Andrew Luck was sick of rehabbing. And, the dude did fucking rehab a lot in the last 4 years. He missed a full season. He probably wants to walk when he's older. You know what I mean? Like, it's just funny to see all this shit now they're jumping on. Why would you even, to even bring up the point, it might be too quick of a turnover. Well, in 1997, Oscar fought. It's like, dude, just calm down, man. Calm down. This isn't 1997. It's not 1987. And it damn sure isn't 1952. So, it is what it is. Do I think he can make the fight and sit out for 2 weeks and relax? And, he probably wouldn't even need an 8-week camp. You could do a 7-week camp. I'm not saying that's not that. Should he do it? Yeah, he should. Because it's a big-ass payday. It's a big-ass payday. Now, maybe that's what's really going on. And maybe they're balking at what Kovalev wants for the money. And that's why they put out, Kovalev doesn't want the fight. He wants to push it back. We don't know. We don't know. We really don't know. So I will get to a variety of other news. I do want to kind of talk about the fights going on this weekend. Obviously, Lomachenko and Campbell on ESPN Plus lead the way as far as, star-worthy, right? Lomachenko, as far as a boxing star. Maybe he's not, maybe he's not ever going to cross over. Who knows? But he's definitely a name that we know very well in the sport. And he's traveling to the UK. And O2 Arena in London, taking on Luke Campbell. And there's a variety of belts. The WBO, the WBA, a vacant WBC. A lot of belts on the line. Interesting fight with Charlie Edwards and Julio Cesar Martinez, potentially. It's a flyweight fight. Huey Fury and Povetkin are on that card as well. Then on Fox and Fox Deportes, Erislandy Lara and Canelo's brother, no offense, Ramon, fight for a vacant, regular, junior, like that type of shit. This was supposed to be a title eliminator. and now it's a vacant WBA regular junior. It is what it is. Now the reason why I don't like this fight in the main event or whatever, because I thought, hopefully this heavyweight fight shows up, because I actually liked Quillen and Truax on paper. I think it's a crossroads fight. I think the first half goes a certain way with Quillen, and I think potentially a second half could go a certain way with Truax as he brings the pressure. That's kind of Truax's style, mid to late rounds, and whereas Quillen kind of is a front runner, and we've seen him fade and whatnot too. So I was looking forward to that fight. Hopefully that Frank Sanchez and Victor Bisbal, hopefully that fight gives us something. I do like Fundora and Clark, though. I like that fight. But I kind of like that 2 out of the 3 fight type of thing. If you have a triple header, I don't mind that. The Arislandi Lara deserves a stay busy fight. A lot of people don't like the way he fights. That's cool. That's fine. But, he's coming off a tough fight with Castellano. Castellano. Is that who it was? Yeah. Tight fight. And then the fight before that was Jarrett Hurd in a brutal fight. Probably the best fight, if not for sure, one of the, top 3 fights of 2018. So I don't mind Canelo's brother. Is Canelo going to be there? Oh, shit. No, he's not going to be there. He ain't bringing his ass up to Minneapolis. Although, you know what? He may come to Minneapolis because it's still warm. You know what I mean? No, he's not coming up here. He doesn't even know his brother's fight. So, yeah, that card. 17 different fights. Money Powell. I think he's fought there 3 or 4 times now at the Armory. That's cool. Sean Simpson, I know him. Celestio Ramirez, coming kind of trying to bounce back off a loss this year. So there is Cryon Davis. I've definitely seen those two. Alexis Gaitan. I've definitely seen both those guys fight. So anyway, I'll be covering that PBC on Fox. Like I said, I'm really bummed that Truax got hurt, but hopefully he makes a full recovery. It just sucks for him, you know what I mean? But as far as that ESPN Plus card from London, Huey Fury and Povetkin has a chance to be very competitive. I really believe that. Povetkin has a come-forward style, so I do think he'll win. In his last big step-up fight, he got knocked out by Anthony Joshua about 11 months ago or something like that. It was at the end of September, right, last year. That was the first DAZN USA card, right? Or not card, but the one that got broadcast here, I believe. So that's an interesting fight. Huey Fury loves to stay on the outside, maybe even more than his brother, but he's not anywhere near. It's not his brother, is it? It's his cousin? No, it's his brother. Is it his cousin, brother, nephew? No, he likes to stay on the outside and not do much at all. So I think Povetkin, he's got that short, stocky. He'll get on the inside. He'll put his, kind of his head in his chest type thing and just loop these shots. And especially the right hand broke Anthony Joshua's nose last September. So I look for Povetkin. I don't know if he's going to knock him up, but I think he'll win the fight. But if it's close, if it's a competitive fight, which it should be, I'd say within the rounds. I kind of feel like Povetkin's going to win cleanly on my scorecard and others, but if it goes the distance, this thing is in the UK. So we'll see what happens there. As far as Vasily Lomachenko and Luke Campbell, here's why I think people are interested in this fight. Well, obviously, Lomachenko's fighting. People just love to watch that dude. He's got the fancy footwork. He's got the hand speed. He'll take you on the outside. He'll take you on the inside. And he'll talk some shit doing it. I mean, he don't talk a ton of shit outside the – well, he actually does more. But he'll clown you in the ring and make you quit. So that's one. people just like Lomachenko, and it's cool. Hey, they got a star in boxing over in the UK, and what do you know? They sell a bunch of tickets at the O2. So I'm happy for the UK fans because, they've been getting kind of the shaft on their fighters fighting in their home, in their home country and shit. So that's pretty dope. As far as another reason, I think, is because if you look at the Lomachenko and Linares fight, right, the old triangle theory, fighter A beats fighter B, but B and C, that means A and C, all that dumb shit. But the whole point is, it is interesting for, when you see Lomachenko fight Linares. Now, Linares and Campbell don't fight the same. I think Linares is smoother. He's got a cleaner, more fluid punching, but he may not have, he doesn't really have a great chin, as we, have found out in the past. And he definitely, he's brittle as far as his face, you know what I mean? He cuts a lot and whatnot, but he has a ton of skill. He does have a ton of skill. So, especially on the outside. Now, like I said, he's more fluid. He's quicker. He's better on being on the outside, I believe. That may have been the reason why, and here's another reason, why Campbell and Linares, when they fought, was a tight fight, because Linares had to assume the come forward guy at times. And that's not him either, unless he's like undermatched, or, where he's like, oh, I can blow this dude out. I'll fucking throw combos on this dude, right? And so I really think seeing Linares drop Lomachenko, seeing him, being in a very competitive fight. Sure, he got stopped, right? But that's not the first time Linares has been stopped, so it is what it is. But I really think a lot of people are just kind of lining that up, like, hey, dude, Campbell's younger, fresher, but Campbell kind of has a resume like Linares, where you go, okay, what's his best win? And then you look further and you go, oh, he lost to that dude? You know what I mean? So, I don't know. I went back and watched that Campbell and Linares fight just to see a little bit more of Campbell again, to kind of refresh my memory. Looked at some other fight too. I've seen him fight probably 6 full fights, something like that. He's got a good jab. I notice he likes to knock down punches with his lead hand, especially the jab. But with both, he's kind of good at that. I don't know if I'd be trying to knock down a slickster and a speedster like Lomachenko, though. I'm not just going to be, I'll just knock your shit down, dog. No, I don't know about all that. But he's good. I think he's pretty good at it. I think that's actually his best defense, blocking with the gloves. But other than that, he's got so-so defense. He's open. He's a sucker for the left hook. And when he punches, he opens up so much when he punches. Like, he'll land some good, crisp combinations. Like I said, he's got a pretty solid jab he's going to have to use a lot. He's going to have to pivot more than what I've seen, not just in the Linares fight, but all the other the other fights I saw. He's just too slow-footed to win this fight in my mind. To me, I think he's just a little slow-footed. He's kind of got a little bit of a wide stance. Not as wide as that governor or senator who got caught in the Minneapolis airport, who had a wide stance. Remember, he got caught in the airport trying to get something in, and he's like, "No, I have a wide stance when I pee. I was just tapping my foot to the music. I was harmonizing. That's all I was doing." But anyway, I just see, like, after a chunk of rounds, I mean, how many rounds does it even take for Lomachenko to be like, all right, I got you figured out? Not many. I kind of think it's going to be competitive within the round, right? I just think I said that, right? Competitive within the round. But as far as how many rounds does Campbell actually win, that I don't know. I really can't see him winning many rounds past the 4th, to be honest with you. If he does, that's going to be awesome. and he'll be right in the fight. But I just think Lomachenko, whether you want it in the middle of the ring and just have a skill fest, whether you want to show the fancy footwork, and that's the thing about the fancy footwork. Most people, when you think of footwork, most people think of dudes on the outside, and Lomachenko can do that, obviously. But his angles with his footwork and foot speed and the quick combination punching and just, it's like he's gonna figure out what punch works. I already talked about the left hook. The left hook is getting, he's gonna destroy him with that left hook. But just in general, I see Lomachenko going away winning this fight. But like I said, within the rounds, I think it can be a bit of a crafty type performance by Campbell. He's got to, like I said, he has to jab and pivot. And he better not throw more than 2 punches. Like, in one sitting, because once he starts to throw that third and fourth, dude, Lomachenko's going to check him because he's so wide open. Of course, a lot of people are wide open when they punch. It's hard not to be to an extent, but you can move your head when you punch. You can move your upper body, your shoulders, yada, 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 so your feet. And I just think that he's going to, if it takes him 6 rounds, if it takes him 2 rounds, Lomachenko's going to figure his ass out, and he's going to start to light him up. Now, 135 is not a great weight class for Lomachenko. There is that, too. And Pedraza, that fight, even though he was coming off the layoff, the Pedraza fight, he looked okay and then at times looked like the old Lomachenko. So I think Campbell will have success. How many rounds? Like, what's the over-under on Campbell winning rounds? If I set it at 2, would you go under? Would you go over? If I set it at 3, would you go under? Would you go over? If it's set at 3, I'm going under. I'm going under. I really can't see him winning more than 2 rounds. Unless Lomachenko, we talk about this all the time, he's in the UK, he wants to put on a show, it's going to be a huge crowd. He doesn't always fight in front of big-ass crowds, right? So you never know. Maybe he'll try to get a little tit for tat, and maybe he'll force it a little bit, and Campbell will be on the outside with that jab. He likes to throw a left hook, too, get to the body as well. I see it, like I said, I see it pretty one-sided, but entertaining because, like I said, it's a technical fight. This is a technical fight. Both these guys are really good. You got a 2-time gold medalist in Lomachenko and a gold medalist, 2012, with Campbell. So, was it 2016 or 2012? Why can't I think of that? Anyway, that about wraps up this weekend. That about wraps up this weekend. It is a holiday weekend here in the States. Make sure you guys have a safe weekend. I'm going to go over some news in 5:03. I have a chunk of news, so don't go to your spot just yet. But just kind of give me a heads up if you do plan on chiming in to the show. Okay? So just give me a heads up. And you just kind of figure it out, and I could just adjust off, what you're thinking. Okay? Here's a little bit of news. We'll keep it UK. Callum Smith, right? Callum Smith's trainer, Joe Gallagher, has revealed that Smith is considering some lucrative offers that came from rival promoters, and the rival promoter of Eddie Hearn. This is what he said. He said his head has been turned. Pause. They're waiting to see what big names Eddie Hearn will offer to compete. So I guess he got, a nice, healthy offer from ESPN, more at the light heavyweight division where they have, 3 out of the 4 champs. And also, 168, it sounds like the PBC was, throwing an offer out there to him as well because they have plenty of 168 guys. that he can fight. So we'll see. That's kind of interesting, man. It would be nice if Callion Smith could get another big fight here, before year's end. He definitely is at a spot where you don't want to waste this time. But who knows? But yeah, he's getting some offers. That is for sure. He's getting some offers from a variety of places, and we will see where that goes. Wonder if Callion Smith got the Canelo fight. You know what I mean? That would be huge. That would be huge. By the way, on that Fox card, there's a Cuban amateur who trains out of Minneapolis. His name is David Morrell Jr. He's going to make his pro debut in a 6-rounder in a 154-pound fight. And this dude, I'm going to write an article about him. I'm going to have a little segment for him as well. This dude, they're saying some crazy shit about this dude. He had like 2 losses or some shit in the amateurs. And I think both of them were to his Cuban teammate. He actually, I believe that was it. I think that was it. I think it was just to his teammate. I think was it Venezuela? Where did he fought out of a different country because in his weight class, he had a stud. But he won 130-2, I believe. 130-2, and his only loss was his countryman, Julio Cesar La Cruz, the gold medalist, in a fight that many had him winning. And then he lost to this Canadian dude, Harvey David O'Reilly, but he did avenge that one. So they're talking big stuff, and his family has a tie to an old Cuban baseball player, that Hall of Famer that moved up here back in the day. I guess there's a family tie in there, and so he sees, how he can transition into this country. He sees the armory, and he knows Jamal James, and so, he's been kind of influenced off that as well, but he's going to train out of Minneapolis. He's going to train out of Minneapolis, and it sounds like they're going to try to base him at the armory for a chunk of his career. I don't know how long, but yeah, he's actually literally going to train here. So that's pretty dope. I definitely wouldn't have thought a couple years ago that you'd have a young blue chip type dude be like, yeah, I'm going to train in Minneapolis. It's like, huh? Like for a camp or for a sparring session, you mean? No, that's my camp. So that's pretty crazy. Pretty crazy, man. And it was Tony Oliva was the player from Cuba, by the way. He still lives in Minnesota. He loves it. So I think just, the perfect storm. They're friends with that family. They're both Cuban. It kind of feels like, hey, man, he did it. I can go do it. I can help him with the transition from, Cuba to America, and obviously the transition to Minnesota. Minneapolis is different as far as, not just all white people, to be honest with you. It's a white-ass state. The Midwest is white as what. But Minneapolis does have a variety of culture to it. It doesn't seem like it on the outside looking in, but it kind of does a little bit anyway. And I'm comparing it to like North Dakota and South Dakota and Iowa in Wisconsin. So that's what I mean by that. So that's pretty cool. I wanted to bring that up. Let me get a little gulp of water. Oh my God, I got a text message. And this little text message reminded me of something. And so right now I got this crush, right? You go through life, hundreds of crushes. I mean, back in the day, like as a teenager in early 20s, I could go into a 7-Eleven and be like, oh shit, dude, that's the one, just crush on this girl randomly. You know what I mean? But yeah, and sometimes you get a crush and it just goes away. Other times it just lingers. And literally, I got this crush. I haven't had this big of a crush in a long time. And the crappy thing is I can't do anything about it, but it's just funny how like a crush can hit you, and then you think, oh yeah, well anyway, and a couple of days go by and you're like, huh, yeah, there's still a little crush there. I still feel the crush. It's funny, but I'm stuck, dude. It's like I'm sprung, like that T-Pain song. I'm sprung. Seriously, this crush is just. There's just little things that remind me of this chick, and it's just like, damn, okay, shit, that made me think of her. I gotta stop. It's just a crush, you know. What was I saying though? I'm so off topic. I'm talking about crushes and shit. Isn't that true though? When you were young, you could literally go to wherever, to the mall, and be like, dude, oh my God, there's 3 girls I'm crushing on. Go to the club, like it's just crush. Dudes just crush on some stupid shit, dude. But anyway, you know, at my age, crushes are just fun. You know, it's kind of like, oh, that's refreshing. Anyway, I got a variety of news, and then we're going to get the hell out of here. We're going to let 503 go as well. So there's 2 fights that are on December 14th. One on ESPN. Did I already go over this? I feel like I went over this. December 14th is going to be a Boxing Day, okay? In the States anyway. I don't – oh, what am I saying? Oh, that's December 7th. I was going to say, oh, shit, AJ and Ruiz, but that's not true. That's the week before. But December 14th, we already knew that J-Rock, Julian Williams, and Jarrett Hurd were going to have a rematch December 14th live from the Barclays Center in Brooklyn. Shame on you when you step through the old dirty Brooklyn Zoo. Anyway, it's late. I'm sorry if I'm just making a mockery of this podcast. So we knew that, right? And we also knew recently, December 14th, that same night, in Madison Square Garden, which totally sucks to have 2 fights in New York. Be a lot better to have one in LA, and then you could even delay the start times even more. So they wouldn't be going necessarily head up. Anyway, the Charlo-Harrison rematch, like I said, we knew Terrence Crawford was going to fight December 14th on ESPN after the Heisman ceremony, which always draws a huge rating. His fight is not that interesting at all. But the co-feature, Teofimo Lopez and Richard Commey. Now that's a bomb-ass fight. Here's the problem. That's the co-feature, meaning it'll probably go head up with the Fox card rather than think about Burchelt and Vargas in May. You had that J-Rock and Hurd fight on Fox, and then the ESPN cards started later. So they actually didn't go head-to-head in the main event. So you could see some of the Fox people went over, and it actually boosted the ESPN card. It was actually perfect. If you're going to go head-to-head or on the same date, I should say, it'd be nice if they could somehow split it up. This one sucks, but at home, it's pretty dope because, you just got to DVR the shit, obviously. But so Teofimo Lopez and Richard Commey, which I just absolutely love that fight. But you also have Charlo and Harrison, the rematch. It sounds like it's heavily rumored on the same card as the J-Rock and Hurd. So it's a double header of rematches at the same weight class, and it sounds like from a couple different people that I've talked to and seen on Twitter, someone talking about too, that they're already locked and loaded and just have to kind of put pen to paper for whoever wins these fights to fight, and unify the division, a good chunk of it. So that'd be pretty dope. Like I said, it does suck both in New York City. The main event is going to be going head up probably with the Commey Lopez if you look at the time frame. Unless they run just a straight up doubleheader, but they haven't done that. It's always been a triple header. Maybe they could adjust it adjusted for us boxing fans, but that does suck. It's like a race to announce the fight now. You gotta start putting the tickets on sale, even though it's in December. But yeah, that sucks. It's awesome, but it sucks. Those are really good fights, but it sucks in a way, you know. But that's going to be some serious viewership that night for boxing in general. I'll tell you that, because the Fox card is going to draw well, and of course with that, healthy ass lead in with the Heisman, that's always drawn, like I said, a good a good number. So there's positive and negatives, I guess. So a couple other items here. Leo Santa Cruz is actually going to 130. His goal now is to win a 130 belt. Now, whether that's in his next fight or not, I could actually see him fight Gamboa. Maybe that would be his first fight up there. I don't know, but it sounds like in November, Santa Cruz is going up to 130. So we might as well that Russell fight never happened, and that's on some bullshit. But it'd be interesting to see him go up there. And obviously they're aiming towards Gervonta Davis. I don't know if they go right to Davis, though. I don't know how much sense that would make. You probably want to test the weight out if you're going to go against a beast in your next fight in Gervonta. But Santa Cruz trying to go for four different belts. And if you look at the belts available, maybe they'll send him over to DAZN, and he's like, "Hey, I'll take that money. How much you offer Gervonta? I'll take that money. I'll take that money." Who knows? Here's kind of a strange one. Austin Trout, the former 154-pound titleist, very solid fighter, has had a good career. Dude, his resume is deep. He said he's going to 147, and he's calling out Danny Garcia. Now, that's a good fight on the surface, but 147? He's not like a small junior middleweight. He's not a small 154-pounder either. So that has got me a little like, going down in weight late in your career, we know the track record on that. And it's not that good. Just ask RJJ. But anyway, of course, that was obviously way more extreme. But just just ask Stevens, Curtis Stevens. He went down to 54, hadn't been there in a while. He couldn't even take a punch down there. So who knows? I don't really want to see Austin Trout get hurt losing weight like that and coming in there kind of not like he'd half-ass it, but he may not be, full powers, basically. So we'll see. Some really good news on the progress of the Prograis and Taylor fight, a unification fight at 140 that we didn't really know what the hell was going on. Now we know it sounds like it's done deal for London, October 26th, and maybe this is why they haven't announced it just yet, because they're trying to sell, they want to sell. It's probably at the O2 if it's in London. So it's going to be on Sky Sports pay-per-view. And the co-feature sounds like it's going to be Parker versus Chisora, which is an interesting heavyweight fight. I like that as a co-feature if they can, get that done. But Prograis and Taylor looks like it's back on after we really didn't know if it was back on. It didn't seem like it was back on. They had the court filing, the potential for a lawsuit, this, that, and the third. So that's good news because I want to see that fight. Two young, undefeated dudes. I want to see who's better, basically. Actually, I forgot about this, but from the last time we spoke, Andy Ruiz put pen to paper. The ink dried, and he's fighting over in Saudi Arabia. It sounds like he got an extra $1 or $2 million out of the deal. Sounds like he got upwards of $9 or $10 million. I think he got up to $10 million, if I remember correctly. So good for him. This is from Mike Coppinger on Twitter. Sources. Hey, what do you know? He started with sources. Matchroom Eddie Hearn began legal process last week toward an injunction along with damages to enforce the Ruiz Joshua rematch in Saudi Arabia. Basically, he retained, two firms, a firm, and a lawsuit was filed yesterday in New York City, and this is August 23rd. But after agreement was reached, the suit was withdrawn. So that must have been the 22nd, and then it was withdrawn the 23rd from Coppinger. I did want to go over that real quick. So that fight is happening all the way. We kind of knew it would. It's just a matter of when, how, where, all that good stuff. Speaking of this light heavyweight division and DAZN and all that stuff, this comes from Dimitri Bivol's manager. And basically, Bivol may continue working with Eddie Hearn and return on Usyk's card October 12th, though he also has an offer to sign with the PBC and make a defense later this year, light heavyweight. So that's interesting. I don't know where exactly that will lead, but we'll see. Obviously, and speaking of Hearn, he keeps saying, I'm really close to signing one of these big guys. And Robert Garcia in a recent interview was talking about Matchroom's huge offer, and that Mikey wants to return at 140, and maybe, going with DAZN would be a better deal for him. So right now, obviously Mikey is literally weighing offers from Heyman, even Bob Arum, De La Hoya, Eddie Hearn. So we'll see where that leads, where Mikey Garcia goes. Like I said, if he wants to go to 140, well, he's not going to fight Jose Ramirez because they get the same trainer. So it kind of matters who wins the fight between Taylor and Prograis and where that winner goes. Well, if it's Prograis, where does he go? And he may just take a fight to stay busy too. Mikey may. So I don't know. Not sure really how that's going to go on. So I'm getting close to the end of the show. Portland 5:03. So if you want to go to your spot now, this would be the time to go to your spot. All right? Go to your happy place. No, I'm just kidding. So I'm basically just going to do a little bit more news, and then we're going to shut this thing down because it's a late night show. And there's people on, but they're more just kind of chilling. What's up, people, by the way? 646-381-4990 is the number to call. That's 646-381-4990. I really do want to see that Canelo and Kovalev fight, though. Obviously, you can sell it by another belt, another weight class for, Canelo. And it's a huge fight for Kovalev. I mean, to get this fight now, he probably wasn't thinking that after that Ward fight, and especially after the first Alvarez fight. No way in hell was he thinking, hey, I could get 5, 8, 10 million. Well, maybe he was thinking about a little bit because a lot of money being thrown around in today's boxing. But it's an interesting style matchup because Kovalev has a damn good jab, and he can cut off the ring. Canelo's a damn good body puncher. He makes adjustments. He can sit in the middle of the ring. He can go forward. He can go backwards. So it's a good-ass fight. Obviously, like I mentioned, Kovalev's not in his prime. But if he can turn in a performance like he did in his last fight, and that's sometimes the Kovalev, you don't know what's going to show up now, But imagine the brutal attack to the body, that Kovalev would, I assume, implore. That'd be pretty big, man. That'd be pretty big. Okay, so I mentioned this at the top of the show. And, it has to do with Terrence Crawford, who plenty of people think he's the best fighter in the world, maybe second, maybe third. And I've always said, like I always say about everybody, I need resume too, though. You know what I mean? I'm not going to crown a dude and say he's the best fighter in the world, hands down, best welterweight, hands down, because of what he did and this and that. But what's his best win? Gamboa? Postal? That's a good win. These are good wins. But he does still need to prove himself. And although I think he's light years ahead of Broner, and he hasn't lost, but look at Broner's resume compared to Crawford. I mean, like I said, he's lost, a good chunk of those fights, of course, but shit, he's been, you know what I mean? He's been fighting people. So I love me some Crawford. I love how he goes from southpaw to orthodox. I love how he has multiple game plans. In fact, what he did against Postal on the outside, he lost the first round, went outside, and never wasn't even close. Tremendous fighter. But it is what it is. His resume is lacking. And if you're going to say, well, a 4-division champ don't mean shit for Broner, which I hear you. I'm right there on the same page. You can't get too uppity when it comes to his 3-weight classes then. And I know the first thing, but he was undisputed at 140. Okay, so who did he beat to be undisputed? Ndongo? And a lot of people hyped that fight. I thought it was cool. Anytime you can be unified champ, man, I'm all for it. Sign me up. I'm watching. I'm supporting it. But if we're going to – you can't call something trinkets and then turn around and get like a halfie because they're all the trinkets are together. Oh, shit, dude. I remember people dogging on Lipinets. No, don't have Lipinets come up with the IBF. No, even though Lipinets is a better fighter than Ndongo, because that would mess up the undisputedness. How long did that last? How long was Crawford undisputed? How long? One fight. And I'm not ripping on Crawford. He did what he had to do. And this guy's shown at 35, 40, and 47, he's shown his worth as far as eye test. And it was great to unify divisions. I think his best one was Postal. He fought Felix Diaz. He fought some solid dudes. But there's not an A fighter in the bunch. So I don't know. Some of the comments he said here, and he said some of this a while back when he was drunk. And I just thought he was drunk. Remember, I mentioned this earlier. Remember when Spence started going off, and I'm the A side, you're this, that, you're that, you got to cross the street. He was drunk. He did talking shit. Okay, whatever. But this was on Joe Rogan. And let's just let the talented man from Omaha tell us what he feels. Okay?
Do you recognize your place in history? Do you recognize that, like, you're a special dude?
Of course. Like I always tell people when they mention me and Errol Spence, of course I want to fight. I tell everybody that. I always say, with or without him, I'm going to the Hall of Fame. When you look at all the things that I've accomplished in the sport of boxing, people that's in the Hall of Fame didn't even accomplish that. So I just tell people I don't need him. He really need me.
Well, we need it. Boxing, right? Don't you agree?
Yeah, boxing do need that fight.
Boxing needs it. I mean, it's one of the beautiful things about when a Canelo and a Triple G do get together. And you see these guys in their respective weight classes that are in their prime. It's fun, like that's what everybody wants to see. That's what.
And I'm down for that. And he went on to say it's politics, and he also kind of like subliminal, but not all that subliminal, kind of threw shade on Top Rank. He's like, there's a lot of things that's a problem with me being where I'm at or whatever. Because, the way they promote Fury, the way they promote Loma, Now, Crawford doesn't promote himself nearly enough, obviously, but I don't know, dude. He says Spence needs the fight way more than me. I disagree. I understand the 3 weight classes, but Kell Brook is just as good as he's about to fight Sean Porter and Kell Brook. Kell Brook is just as good as anybody. I think he's better than Postol, but you can't say he's worse. You can't say he's worse, and I know people are going to say, oh, he was damaged goods. He was damaged goods. Well, when it was a tight-ass fight, he wasn't damaged goods, was he? When he was showing some real skill in the ring, it wasn't damaged goods. Only damaged good when he fucked up his eye later in the fight. But he was in the fight, and when he was hurt, 2 separate times he made a big-ass flurry back. So to me, and I think I've said this recently, the whole he was done as a fighter. Not as a fighter he wasn't. Now, because he fucked up one eye, the other eye got fucked up. Is that why? Maybe. Sure. Okay. Okay, that's fine. But to say he was shot as a fighter, I saw plenty of skill. He looked sharp to me in that Spence fight for a long time. And like he proved that he had something left because in his worst moments, he was able to rally back 2 separate times. But anyway, I just wanted to play that. It's like, well, I don't know, man. I do think he'd go to the Hall of Fame, don't get me wrong. But a lot of it's just eye test, dude. A lot of it's eye test, if we're being honest. And I used to say this about Golovkin, too. I would sit there and say all the great things about Golovkin. But I'd also say, hold the phone, though. Just calm down, though. He still look at his resume. And, take Golovkin out of it. He a lot of that stuff, it wasn't his fault. But Crawford-wise, he knew what he was doing when he signed with Top Rank. He knew what he was doing. And, hey, get your money, cool. I think you could probably get the same money, but who knows? Maybe he couldn't. Maybe he was offered something. Usually they extend before the shit runs out, Top Rank. So, and a lot of promoters for that matter. So, a lot of this stuff is going back and forth, I don't know. This fight is just not easily made. Right now, it's not a 50-50 split network fight. And a lot of people just, I hope he doesn't fight Pacquiao next when he beats Porter. So that way the Crawford fight will happen. Well, it doesn't just automatically mean the Crawford fight happens. Not only that, but they're going to split network while they're in theory in February. You really think that they're going to build Spence and Crawford for 3 weeks after that or something? That fight ain't happening in the first quarter next year. Or, late second quarter at the earliest. And that's not going to happen. Just to be honest. So, this whole, he doesn't need me, he needs me, not I don't need him. That's nonsense, dude. You need the best opponent. You need the best opponent on your resume. Because right now, Postol and Gamboa doesn't cover it, dude. Sorry. You can't tell me those guys are better than Kell Brook and Porter if he gets by him. But anyway, I'm going to go out to Portland and let him give his 2 cents. I know he's got to be happy with our guy Juan Francisco Estrada holding it down for the Mexicanos, my favorite fighter in this present generation. 503 Portland, what's going on, buddy? How the hell are you?
Yo, what up, Chris? Hell yeah, brother. We keep winning, man. You know what I mean? But
dude, that's all the
how's everything going, brother?
This year. All they do is win, no matter what. Or they fucking make a dude get hurt and barely lose. You know what I mean? Make him sit in the ice tub. Oh, you're gonna lose? Or you're gonna feel the loss? You're gonna feel my loss.
Yeah, man. Bro. that anthem right there. I want to shine real quick. I want to give a huge shout out to this fight. Abdil Ramirez versus Shohan Ergeshev. Man, I forget there. But this shit was on real quick. This one was on Showboxes last weekend, man. And the card was all right. You know what I mean? But I felt like this fight stole the night as fight of the night. I just feel it deserves some merit. Just because this guy Argashev, he was like the heavy favorite. He was like a young kid going in there, and this guy Ramirez, him being Mexican, I was pulling for the guy, but man, you could tell this was supposed to be like a tune-up fight, and but bro, damn, this tune-up fight almost turned on the guy, so almost on Ergashev, because man, this guy was he was there the whole night. He just kept coming forward. And that dude Argashev, I mean, this dude even got like a false knockdown with there was a clean shot before it, but if you get to see it right at I believe it was right at the end of the third round where he landed like a nice left, but then he also pushed him at the same time, and it was a blatant push, and it got counted as a knockdown. And if you look at the replay, that shit was no knockdown. It was a clear push. But the ref gave it to him, and in my opinion, all respects to Abdil Ramirez, just because he was a dog, man. This dude fucking didn't. He's just, no one told him he wasn't supposed to win. I thought he was going to go in there and get his ass whooped, but damn, I mean, he took some shots, no joking, but man, Ergashev had to dig deep, man, because this dude, if you look at Ergashev, he looked like this kind of what a fighter should look like, ripped and abs and chest and muscles and everything, and Abdil Ramirez definitely went up in weight in this fight, man, because he looked a little, like a short little pudgy dude. But man, this fucking dude could fight, man. And but yeah, I just want to give a quick shout out to Abdil Ramirez for holding it down, and showing the pride of what it really is, Andy Ruiz said, that Mexican blood, you have to prove it sometimes, you have to, if you have it, you gotta run with it, man, and don't matter, don't matter if you're just on the as the co-main event or the opener, and but man, what a hell of a fight, that's what I wanted to say, because the first fight and then the main event kind of didn't live up to the hype, they're all right fights, for Friday night. Yeah, but the Ramirez fight, it was dope, man. It was 100% electrifying in my opinion, man, because that motherfucker had to dig deep to get that win. And
that's a good call.
Yeah,
glad you mentioned that, because I forgot to mention the other two fights, but I'm glad you mentioned that. Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Yeah, I just wanted to represent for my fellow Mexican there, and also if you notice, he had Mike Alvarado's the head trainer there, so I thought that was kind of something to keep an eye on, in my opinion, because when you see that motherfucker in the corner, it's going to be a good fight. So but yeah, shout out to both fighters. Argashev got the win. Nothing but good things up ahead for him. He was a talented fighter, rugged dude. And I believe he's somewhere from Eastern Europe. I don't know if he's Kazakhstanian. He might be. I don't know. But shout out to him. Shout out to the fight. Showbox did it. And then also too, man. Right before I recap the weekend, I want to give a big shout out to a promoter here in Oregon, Pure Combat. It was titled as Collision Course. Victor Morales Jr. Actually headlined the fight, a Golden Boy fighter. Actually, we heard he fought versus Herman Moraes. This is a good card just because it happened here close to for an hour away from where I'm from in Portland, and it was in Clackamas, Oregon. So I want to give a big shout out to this promoter who put a fucking solid card for us Oregonians, man, because it was pretty sweet, because it was kind of like there was a kind of some kickboxing, some MMA, and some boxing all together. So it was really dope. If you were just a fight fan like I am, you would have enjoyed the hell out of it, because it was dope, and also too, like you don't see a lot of times these days, unless you're in China or Japan, you'll see them MMA stuff. You'll see them fighting in a ring over there. But over here, usually in the States, we usually get the cage. But this time, they fought in a ring, and which was pretty dope in my opinion, because it kind of gave us that old school pride feeling where it was about the fighting and not really about wrestling and you using the cage for advantages and shit like that. So, but it was you know what I mean. I want to give a shout out to this promoter, you know what I mean, for holding it down. Victor Morales Jr. got the win. He had hell of a fans there, man. This guy he actually fights out of Hillsboro, Oregon. So it's pretty cool, you know what I mean? Even though he's from Washington, he's holding it down over here and having training camps here. So, but it was, you know what I mean? It was dope. It was a dope night. Just want to give a quick shout out to Pure Combat and, shout out to them. So it was a good event. And also, let me get into the recap of this weekend. We had the Heartbreak Kid, Figueroa versus Chacon, and this obviously, if you take a look at this fight, I mean, when you looked at both fighters, you obviously saw that Figueroa looked like the better fighter, in my opinion.
Dude, I couldn't watch the fight.
Obviously,
I couldn't. I was lost in his eyes. I'm just kidding.
He's so beautiful. Yeah, I know.
They really
those,
talked about that like the whole fucking time. It's a mismatch if they're talking about, oh boy, being handsome the whole time,
Yeah. Yeah, is that did you listen to it in the English? Is that what they were saying in the English broadcast there?
And meanwhile,
okay, yeah.
Let's talk about his sister, for Christ's sakes.
Yeah. Always stealing the show, bro. Always stealing the show, man. She's gorgeous, man. That girl. You know what I like about her is that she's like natural pretty, dude. Like none of this fake bullshit out there, fake lips, fake fucking cheekbones, and all this bullshit. It's like, dude, that girl's just naturally beautiful.
For her.
Man. You know what I mean? So yeah,
she's working for her. Dude. You're right. She is gorgeous.
Hell yeah, man.
She's kind of like that old school gorgeous, where you're just like, she just wakes up like that.
Yeah, just like that. She could, she looks good with like no makeup on, and you know what I mean, those kind of gals. You know what I mean? Like these days, man, it's like it's so much fake bullshit out there where there's no eyebrows on some girls, or fucking they got cheekbones done and fucking their chin done, and there's so much fake shit out there, man. It's just so disgusting. Like the fake ass shit.
Dude,
like
let's stop. This is podcast getting way out of hand. I was talking about.
You know what I'm talking about, man. A lot of fake shit.
Dude,
a lot of fake shit out there.
I was just talking about a damn crush that I had a second ago. So that's why I'm saying that we got to put this thing back to boxing, because I started it with this shit. All right, back to boxing. It's just hard.
Hey, we're both, man. Yo, Chris. Yo, man, we're both, man. I mean, even though this is a new era and it's they shame men for being men these days. Let's still be men. You know what I'm talking about? Let's still be this. This person that we are. But whatever. I know what you're talking about, Chris.
So men like.
But yeah, man. As far as yeah. But as far as this, Figueroa shit, man. As far as this Figueroa stuff, man. It was a pretty good scrap for the fourth round that it lasted for. In the Spanish broadcast, because me, man, I like listening to it in Spanish sometimes, and they were making fun of that dude's shoes, because obviously that dude walked in there with like his running shoes.
Right.
Or, you know what I mean? If you're taking a notice to that,
shit.
man. Yeah.
He just came in with Air Force Ones and shit. Like, where's the ring? I'm ready.
Yeah. Yeah, bro. And
like,
but it was funny, man. It's
shit. He's like, he just comes from the beach, like swimming trunks and Air Force Ones.
Yeah, like regular socks on and shit. But you can't hate the struggle, man. That dude's a real dude from Argentina, and I'm sure
Definitely.
what I mean. He had a hell of a a plane ride along. Whatever how long that plane ride was to catch an ass whooping. So But nothing but respect to Chacon. But I don't know, if you listen to it in Spanish, man, they're just more funnier, bro. Because like they really gave it to him when they found out the dude wasn't wearing any, like, you know, the proper boxing shoes or the proper you know, the shoes that you have to wear for combat or whatever. So it's like, it's funny, man. And I don't know, man. I always just get a kick out of these Spanish people because they're just a lot funnier. And but yeah, Figueroa won.
Shoes. Just real quick, I've seen wrestling shoes before, like full on, like high school and college wrestling shoes. I've seen boxers do that, but those are much closer to a boxing shoe. You know, they're very similar.
Yeah, they are, because you got the grip, you got the ankle support, and you know, the wrestling shoes, you know what I mean, because they have a lot of grip on them. So, you know, I would definitely recommend, if you know if you can't find any, like, you know, just at a regular store, you know, usually a lot of you know, sports athletic stores, you know, they usually do carry wrestling shoes. But yeah, no, that's my little honest opinion. But yeah, no, I've seen that before too, and that works, but not running shoes. You know what I mean? It looks just awkward. It looks, you know, with the high socks, it looked like he was.
I got these nice New Balance.
Yeah, rocking the New Balance. Yeah, that's what it was, man. And but it was funny, bro. But anyways, Figueroa, you know, he looked good for the first 4 rounds. You know, definitely didn't take any damage, and also, man, you know, I got to see the co-main. You know, there was that fighter Stephen Fulton, 17-0, 17-0 now versus Isaac Avalar, and you know me, man, I was pulling for Isaac Avalar just because he was Mexican. But dude, it didn't go his way. He got what round? He got stopped in the 6th round, and you know, it was a really good body shot, man. It was a devastating body shot, man.
Yeah, you could tell the way his reaction, but he definitely had his moments. I gave him a round.
Yeah, he obviously he did look good. I mean, these are 2 young bucks, you know what I mean, in a good scrap. And you know, they talked about Stephen Fulton fighting you know, Figueroa. They brought him in the ring after Figueroa won. So you know, I like the way Stephen you know, did his work there, man. I liked how he finished his opponent. He didn't. I felt like he didn't take any big damage, because he fought in the outside, you know, smartly, and picked the shots, and you know, never engaged them in the middle. So you know, but you know, these guys seemed, you know, he was in the ring after the fight, you know, after Figueroa's fight. So you know, hopefully they can make that fight happen, man, because they got me excited, man. You know, both guys are, you know, pretty good, solid punchers, man. They almost have the same record, right? Like somewhere in the teens, right?
Yeah.
Well, I believe. No. Figueroa's like 20-0 now, right? Or 19?
Yeah, he just hit 20. That's
right.
Okay,
yeah.
He's had so many fights that he's just kind of jumping on fights. He's like, oh shit, he's up to 20 now. That's right, shit.
Yeah, hell yeah.
They've got them active. They moved them well. They can run it right back.
Yeah, man, they did.
Old boy was on the undercard, so the live audience got a chance to see him. They should run it back right there if they can. If they could book that building.
Yeah, they should, man. That's what they definitely should do. And yeah, because I always remember Figueroa. I remember they always talking about Brandon Figueroa, you know, because Omar, obviously everybody knows Omar, and you know, Figueroa, you know, I just always remember them putting him on the undercard of his brother's cards, like all the way, like the untelecast fights, you know. So
yeah.
But yeah, like you said, man, you know, they definitely did build him up to be fucking right now, to, you know, to be where he is right now, you know what I mean?
Kid.
I mean, the Heartbreak Kid, you know, that reputation. Yeah. So it's like, it's pretty dope, man. And you know, it's cool, man. It's cool. You know, they got a player there, you know, the PBC round, you know what I mean, at the 122 pound division, and it's cool how they're making you know, this division in the spotlight right now. You know what I mean? They're putting it in on the spotlight, so it's pretty cool with these lower weight classes.
And they're building a variety of guys too, in a variety of different parts of the country. You know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's really dope, man. So so in my opinion, hopefully they can make this fight happen, because in all honesty, man, I hate to be harsh, but I believe Figueroa, these are 2 tune-ups in 1 year. You know, I believe he had some sort of fight in April, I want to say, and I believe that was a tune-up as well. You know, I think that was a tune-up. So and this one was definitely a tune-up, man. I mean, the guy was a lot smaller, and you know, he didn't. I don't know. In my honest opinion, I mean, he didn't look like he had a chance. But yeah, but also, man, the fight in Russia. You know what I mean? Sergey Kovalev versus Anthony Yarde, man. This fight. You know, I was excited for this fucking fight, man. You know, because this being in Russia, Yarde going, you know, unexperienced challenger prospect. In my opinion, prospect level. You know, he had a shot against Kovalev and he took it but in Russia, which is fucking ballsy in my opinion, man. That's I mean, that alone you got to respect Anthony for that shit, man. I mean, like, holy shit, like he went all the way over there for that fucking fight, and then but the build up was cool, you know what I mean? You know, the unchallenged prospect versus the, you know, proven champion, you know, veteran champion now, and you know, Anthony Yarde did look, you know, he looked okay for, you know, for the few first rounds, and
he had good hands.
You know, Kovalev did, you know, what's up?
He had good hand speed.
Yeah, he did, right? But the thing is that, you know, that all that, you know, mitt work and flashiness, like, man, it's just I felt like it caught up to him, man, like, because he actually had to prove that shit this time. But even though, you know, you got to give him credit for putting Kovalev in some, you know, murky waters there in the 8th round, bro. Like, that shit was dope, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like who the fuck saw that coming, man? I really didn't think he would at least pull that off. You know what I mean? Actually hurting Kovalev, you know what I mean? And because I thought it was gonna be an early night for Yarde and everything. So, but it was a fun scrap to watch. The crowd was live, and hey, poor Mama Kovalev, you know what is she doing up there in the nosebleed section, man? Like, you know, like you couldn't get her some front row tickets, man. Like it's you know, poor Mama Kovalev, you know, up there.
Maybe she wants a dip
Yeah.
and be far away, you know, if shit goes wrong.
Probably, man, because shit could have almost went south
shit
there,
was going
man.
wrong.
Yeah, but it's you know, it's cool, man. It's nice that you know, to see that Kovalev did win the fight, because I mean, obviously he's got that a big Canelo fight in line next for him, and you know, if I was Kovalev, man, I wouldn't complain. I'd be like, dude, let's just make this fucking fight happen. You know, like you said earlier, man, it is a big fucking giant payday. And obviously you took some damage. Now I could clearly see Kovalev going into this fight being the underdog. Being the underdog in this fight, coming up with Canelo. Like, in my honest opinion, just seeing this fight with Yarde. Him, you know, Yarde going to the body, attacking that, and showing how vulnerable Kovalev is to the body. You know, because everybody knows Canelo loves going to the body, and, you know, that left hook is his bread and butter. So, you know, it would definitely be a fun fight, but after seeing that, I could see Kovalev being the underdog in the, you know, even though he is actually the champion and the legitimate 175-pounder, you know what I mean? But I don't know. It's just, you know, it's still a fun fight in my honest opinion. If it does happen November 2nd, right? That's the date they're looking for the Canelo fight. So, you know, that's dope for me, man. If that does happen, it comes into fruition and shit. So, and also, man, Kovalev better not complain about, like, money too, man. It's like, you know, that other dude, Derevchenko, that complained about money. He felt like he needed more or wanted more or whatever the fuck, and then he ended up taking the same amount for a Triple G. So it's like, I don't know, man. It's
but he got his.
You know, it's like,
can't fault him. He got his, though. He played the system right.
Yeah.
But it's all because they gave Jacobs fucking $10 million, dude. Like, if you give Danny Jacobs $10 million, don't you have to give Kovalev $10 million? I mean, I'm just saying, like, right? Kind of, or at least $8 million or something.
Yeah.
And that's the
I
problem.
Get it. Yeah. That is the problem. But what's up with this? Like, you know, let's take for Derevchenko, right? Like, the guy, I think he's only fought in the States how many times? Twice, right? Against once against right? He fought Jacobs and he fought was it the guy that fought Charlo, right? So that's
he fought Cloquet.
Oh, okay. Was that the only guy? Or did he fight?
That was his last fight in Minneapolis.
Oh, okay. Then I'm thinking of somebody else. Then okay, because it's like, you know, obviously, what's his name? Jacobs is like kind of, you know, he's kind of you know, he's known to the fans. What's up?
He fought Jacobs last year. Derevchenko.
Oh, okay. Oh, so that is him. Oh, okay. See, I get mixed up with all these Chenkos and Derevchenkos and whatever the hell, but you know, whatever the fuck. And but you know, it's like I could see Sergey getting maybe that amount, but like for I don't know, well, whatever the fuck. I'm the last person to talk.
They just got to make the deal.
So,
they just got to make the fucking deal and get it signed, because they already messed up and let that date go by, the September date, which is ridiculous. Like, how could you drop the ball on Canelo mid-September Mexican Independence Week? It's just unbelievable.
Yeah, it's like I hear you. It's like it's such a big opportunity, and like these opportunities never come. They only come once in a lifetime. So it's like, because like if you pass this opportunity, man, it might never be there again. And so much shit could happen. You could take up a tune-up, you could take up, whatever a contender fight, and shit could go south really quick. So, but yeah, man. As far as that, it was a good scrap. The Kovalev, Kovalev survived to talk about it, and hopefully they can make the fight with Canelo. Hopefully everything comes to fruition, because that is a very interesting fight in my opinion. More even so than Triple G, because me, my honest opinion, I think that shit is over. I hope people out there still want to see the third fight, but to me it's over. Whatever, Canelo doesn't need him anymore. So I feel, my honest opinion, he could close that chapter. But just to keep these Triple G people hating, just keep on that hate, keep telling the world where Canelo's ducking them and all that shit. So I don't know. I just love seeing.
Well, Canelo's afraid of him, right? Canelo is afraid of him. You know that, right? He fought him twice, but he's afraid.
Yeah, he's really scared, man. He's that's why. That's why he's not fighting, man. He's hiding. But,
he's just been hiding out in San Diego, not wanting to talk to anybody. Yeah. That's all he does is worry about it. That's what he does his whole life.
But also too, what do we got this weekend? You said, what's his name? The Cuban guy. What's his name? Errol, right?
He's taking on. Speaking of Canelo, he's taking on Canelo's brother. I'm hoping.
Yeah, he's fighting Ramon Alvarez.
I doubt Canelo even knows his brother's fighting, but I hope he comes up here.
I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure he knows his brother's fighting. I mean, did you know? Did you ever get to see that?
I'm just playing.
Okay, all right.
Cool. He's not coming up to Minneapolis. He's not coming.
No,
up
I don't think so, man. It's way too cold up there, man.
I wish he would.
That would be pretty dope, man.
No one up there right now, and it's like, no, dude, it'll be like 75, man. Come on up.
Hey, yo, what's the Mexican population out there looking like, man? Do they got their own towns out there, like their own areas, like where them, like, oh, that's Little Mexico or something?
They have areas. They do. There's definitely a Chavez Boulevard and the whole nine. St. Paul has been here a little bit longer, I believe, too. But they it just came later up here, so they haven't been able to establish themselves as much, generation after generation just yet.
Yeah,
But a lot of Ecuadorians too. A lot of Ecuadorians too have come up in the last maybe decade, something like that.
Yeah.
So I work in the bar and restaurant industry this whole time, so I've known a lot of Ecuadorians that have come up in the last, say, 10, 15 years.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because over here in our area, there's a lot of areas where you would call it like Little Mexico, and there's a lot of names, man. I mean, you grow up, growing up here in Oregon, man, it was like, you met a lot of fucking racist people, so they have
a lot of
names,
white people.
So it's like
a lot of white people. There's a lot of white people.
Yeah. Hell yeah. But
up here.
But it's, the culture's definitely changed out here. But I could see your area, because it gets fucking cold up there, doesn't it? Like in the minuses up there in the fucking the winter time and shit. Like you guys.
City in the lower 48, it's the coldest metropolitan city.
Yeah, you're right there next to Canada, right? Right there, right at the border.
Yeah, I'm about 5 miles away, 5 hours away.
Okay, damn. Holy Jesus, damn. No wonder that shit's cold up there, man. Jeez.
That's why when I say I'm going up north, like last week I went up north. And when I tell people around the country I'm going up north, they're like, dude, where are you going? Alaska? Like, you going to Canada? Like, where's up north, dude? It's just so funny.
Canada.
Oh yeah, no. Just we're basically like lakes. Like it's not like flat land where like Nebraska and Iowa, that shit's just flat, you know.
Mm-hmm.
We do have some up and down, some valleys and hills and foothills and Lake Superior and all that shit, but we basically just got a grip of trees and a grip of lakes. We got like 13,000 lakes.
Oh, okay, Jesus, damn. A lot of that's
so you
nice,
basically
man.
go
that's
camping,
cool.
or you rent a cabin, or someone has a cabin or something. A lot of people dip. Like this upcoming weekend, a lot of people are gonna dip. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, hell yeah, man. Over here too, man. So yeah, that Labor Day, right? Labor Day weekend. So nice to know that we have that shit coming up, man. For as Americans, you know what I mean? Because we love that. We love that third day off, you know what I mean? So right before September, which is fucking crazy, bro. I can't believe summer's pretty much over now, dude. It's it's pretty fucking crazy, man. You know.
I'm really hoping for like a continuated September because we had like a lot of times when we have like a lingering spring where it takes a while for the heat to come, it usually makes up for it, and we'll have like 65-degree days in October and shit. So that's what I'm hoping. But yeah, it sucks, man. There's always this like late September scare. It'll get like cold at night, and you're like, oh fuck.
Yeah.
But then all of a sudden, like the first chunk of September will be really nice, and it'll be like 80 degrees, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, it's that's funny. You guys get over there. You guys, that's cool, man. It's like, we all have our worries over here too, man. It's like, this summer kind of started late for us over here, so we're kind of expecting, like a late fall and like late rain. So it's kind of weird too when shit like that happens too. So I don't know, man. It's a never ending thing. So, but every year is different, whatever the fuck. So, but yeah, man. But as far as this boxing shit, man, and we got Lara, right? And he's fighting Ramon Alvarez. Let's go, Ramon Alvarez, man. Saul's brother, Canelo Alvarez's brother, man. One of the, this is the guy that lost to Trout. So, hopefully, it's kind of weird. Like, how the fuck did this fight get made anyways? Didn't Ramon just get his ass knocked out by Brandon Rios, right?
Rios,
how the hell does that happen?
I think he beat somebody, but this was actually supposed to be like an eliminator, stay busy fight for Lara because he's coming off two tough fights. So they're giving him a stay busy tune-up, and then it just all of a sudden turned into a vacated regular WBA, just stupid shit, It's the WBA.
Jesus, but like let him.
But this is just a complete tune-up to look good, and then fight somebody coming up. Basically, is what it sounds like.
Hey, do you think he gets to the knockout? This is kind of interesting. Like, what do you think about that? Do you think he gets it?
Yeah, dude. I think he's gonna like have. I'm not gonna say a complete highlight reel knockout, but I think he's gonna be flashy as fucking land super flush shots. That's what I think.
Okay.
Because when Lara wants to put his punches together, he's a very fluid, very fast, very hard, clean puncher. Maybe not hard, but like clean, Yeah. Like you're like, shit, like that Paul Williams fight. I mean, I know that was like 10 years ago, but that type of idea. But I think he'll be going for it more because he knows he can stop him.
Yeah. And plus, it's Canelo's brother, right? I'm sure he wants to give Canelo he wants to send Canelo a message, right? So, very interesting. I'm very interested in this, man. Because I'm not, Lara, he obviously had that hard fight with the Herd, and he got dropped in, it was a tough fight for him, right? It was a back and forth, blood and guts kind of fight. So,
and he took on that Castellano dude in his last fight.
Castellano, that was scored a draw, right?
Yeah, yep.
Yeah.
So he's had two tough-ass fights, so I don't mind him staying busy. It's just for a silly trinket fight, Yeah.
Yeah, All right, yeah, I'm curious, man. I'm very curious here now, man. This is very interesting because I'm sure that I'm sure Canelo doesn't want his brother to get knocked out by that dude, man. You know what I mean? So I'm curious, man. I'm very interested, but you know me, man. I'm pulling for my boy Ramon Alvarez. Let's let's beat Cuba do it again one more time like Canelo did. Obviously, we all have our opinions about that Canelo-Lara fight, right? But whatever the fuck, man. You know what I mean? People's got their own fucking opinions.
I actually thought that was a draw. I don't think either guy really deserved the win in the fight. It was a tough, close fight.
I'm just happy we got the win, man. That's all that matters to me, man. Because Jesus, bro, we're worried, man. We were watching that shit live. I mean, bro, we were fucking so worried because, I could be honest right now, or whatever the fuck, but it wasn't looking too good for our boy, man. So, he kept getting, he kept taking some shots, man, and that was a few years ago, so it doesn't really matter anymore because that was
5 years ago, dude. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah,
5 years ago.
Crazy, and it keeps going, man. And look at this, Canelo keeps making history. So, but yeah, man, and but yeah, man. As far as that, Chris, don't have too much to say. You know what I mean? Kind of a slow weekend. Obviously, it's a Labor Day weekend for us Americans. You know what I mean? So it's time for us to, just hang back and chill out. So before, going back to work on fucking Tuesday. So, you know what I mean? So, but at least.
Don't forget Lomachenko's fighting Luke Campbell as well.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Over there in the UK, right? Yeah, okay. That should be a good fight, you know what I mean? And, let's see how special Lomachenko is, you know what I mean? And, let's see if we can put him away over there in England. So that's a pretty good scrap in my opinion. And you got Eddie Hearns over there. And, yeah. So hey, also too, I forgot to you were bringing up now that you're before I get out of here, you brought up the fucking Terrence Crawford, man. You brought that dude up, man, and you talked about the Joe Rogan Experience podcast, and I got to listen to that podcast too. But man. Dude, in my view, like, is this guy not allowed to talk, like give his own opinion about stuff? Like, I feel like he's so controlled. Like, before he went into that interview, like, I felt like he had to say all the right stuff, like, not say anything to stir some shit up or because the way it was
I
very
think he's just
kind
of like that, dude. He's really he's just starting to open up minorly, but he's just not good at it, dude.
No.
He's brilliant in the ring and just pretty fucking stale on the. I mean, he's from Nebraska, dude. What is he gonna do? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. I know people from Nebraska. I'm just kidding. No, but yeah, dude. I don't know what it is, but I know what you're saying. I do know what you're saying. Man. But it's just something not clicking. And when he says that Spence needs me and I don't need him, I can't stand for that. Come on, dude.
I couldn't, dude. I was about ready to fucking stop the podcast there and call it quits on Terrence Crawford's career for me, man. Because, dude, I was like, man, I can't believe what he just said, dude. That is crazy. Him saying he doesn't need him. Spence needs him, and it doesn't matter the fight, regardless if the fight if it doesn't happen, like he's going to, based off his career already, he's going to the Hall of Fame no matter what. And I'm like, what the fuck is he talking about, dude? Like, you obviously got the casual fans fooled, the top rank followers and all these people that, believe in top rank and shit. But it's, dude, that was just cringe just listening to that. Just, oh, man. And, like, not only that, but he didn't make any sense when he was talking about playing pool with Joe there and, leaving 5 on the table or something. He didn't even make sense with that. It's like, I don't know, man.
He's just not good at interviews, dude. He can't.
He's not, bro.
That he can't. You can understand what he's saying. It's not like his slang is too thick or something like that. Some people that come from the country or different parts, even Minnesota, when I try to say something, some will be like, what? But, like, it's not that at all. It's just his delivery. He just, I don't know, dude. You can tell he's trying to do more now, but for years he just didn't do it. And you could just tell, like, it was a week ago almost, and it's not even, like, pretty much most of his shit hits 1 million, you know what I mean? And this was at 508,000. And it's just like, it's just so weird. Yeah.
He must not be that big of a draw then, man. Jesus. I mean,
no,
Amir
that's the thing.
Khan, right?
He just doesn't. He doesn't. He just doesn't.
Yeah.
He doesn't have any personality, basically. He's probably a funny, cool dude, like just hanging out with him, But like off camera. But on camera, he's just not that good at it, dude.
Yeah, I don't know what. Yeah, dude, I don't know what it is either, bro. It's just like that interview, man. But just I don't know, man. It was hard to listen to, in all my honest opinion, man. Because I mean, I like how he didn't even bring up Amir Khan in his last fight, and some of that kind of shit. You know what I mean? Like no one brings out you know what I mean? This is how casual fans like sometimes listen to their boxing so-called experts like like a Rogan where calling him you're kind of a special dude, and it's like you don't even talk about it like his past achievements like an Amir Khan, you know what I mean? Like who really wanted to see that fight happen, and who really thought that was going to merit any kind of special trophy or kind of achievement, you know what I mean? Like it just didn't, you know what I mean? Amir Khan, come on, dude. The dude just fought Billy Dibs in Saudi Arabia, dude. Like the dude hasn't gotten like a real good win since probably Golasso, and just I don't know, man. That's just my honest opinion. I don't know, man. It was really hard to like Terrence Crawford after that opinion, and plus, is there anything lined up for him right now? Like, is there a fight lined up for Crawford? Like,
Yeah, he's gonna fight that fucking He's fighting Mean Machine. He's fighting Mean Machine in New York City. The same night as J-Rock and Hurd.
Oh. Okay. Jeez.
But check out the undercard, dude. The undercard is
it's pretty stacked.
The co-feature is Teofimo Lopez against Richard Commey.
Okay, that's pretty good scrap right there, man. I like Commey. I like what I saw from Commey in his last fight, man. Putting the whooping on my boy over
and
there.
Lopez is striking heads too. Yeah.
That dude seems to be capturing the fans of the casual eyes over there. You know what I mean? Because you know what I mean? Because let's face it, bro. Top Rank is like kind of almost a cat because them being on ESPN, it's like I don't know. I feel like they get the majority of casual fans Top Rank fighters and all that shit because they become fucking pound for pound real fast. You know what I mean? Like one fight and they're pound for pound, and that's the rankings all the time and shit. So. But yeah, man. But as far as they're saying is they're the same night as Hurd and J-Rock, right? Well, I'm watching the other one, bro. You know me, man.
And you know what? It sounds like that co-feature. This is a rule. It hasn't been officially announced, but it sounds like the Charlo Harrison 2 is going to be on that card too.
No, that's even more doper, man. And is that rumor for pay-per-view or Fox?
Well, it says Fox. It says that it's on Fox right now. They have a scheduled date that date, so they have we don't know for a fact, but as of right now, it's assuming that it'd be on regular Fox because they are due one. Of course, they could do a prelim technically, I guess, or do a pay-per-view, but I don't know. I hope not. I don't think so.
Yeah, no, I hope not too, man. Jeez, because that sounds like a pay-per-view card. You know what I mean? Then having that kind of
I know, right?
Like
if you want to have the winners fight each other and then make that a pay-per-view, okay, that's fine. That's cool.
Yeah.
You guys gave us a double header. You put it on Fox. You exposed them, and then you cash in. That's cool. I can deal with that.
Yeah.
I'll go to the movie theater.
Yeah, hell yeah. Yeah, definitely, man. And it was that would be definitely the strategy they should go because I wouldn't mind paying pay-per-view for the winners, when they scrap it out. But because we got that what's the Durrell and Benavidez as the co for what's the main for that one again?
Spence and Porter.
The main for Spence and Porter. Yeah, thank you. And so that kind of that reminds me of that kind of card too. You know what I mean? Like a big co and a big main. That's that's pretty dope, man. And but as far as that, man, I'd rather watch that card than any Crawford fight in the past probably 3 years. You know what I mean? So even though if I could be honest about something, I would say his best win, in my honest opinion, is probably Victor Postal. I want to say Victor Postal just because it was
Right.
I think it was more. I think,
agree.
in my opinion, it was a 50-50 fight, and it was at the time it was the best 140.
Yeah.
It was the best 140, and I believe Victor Postal just captured the Matisse win and took that WBC belt, a vacant WBC belt, and and I think that's where the start of the line in that fight got made. And I think before that it was supposed to be Matisse versus Crawford, and obviously Victor took the win there. So, but in my honest opinion, I believe Victor Postal is probably his best winner.
I agree
or
because
the Scottish guy.
Because Gamboa, Ricky Burns.
Mm-hmm. Ricky Burns.
Yeah, that was a good win. Burns, I'd probably put Postal above him a tad bit. I don't know. We'll see. Postal still has a career left, but it does seem like it's on the downturn a bit. He fought well against Taylor, though. I don't know. Gamboa at 35, Gamboa that was a bad weight for him. Featherweight in 130 was much better. Gamboa. Well, 135, he was too little for him. But he put his hand. He did the best against Crawford though, Gamboa, because he put hands on him in the first chunk of round.
Hurt him too. There was that moment where he made him do the stanky leg for a second. So
Beltran hurt him late when Crawford was trying to finish him at that weight class too. He seemed more vulnerable at 135 because I think he was trying to finish dudes, And then finally he kind of was like, all right, dude, I'm not going to get hit as much as I normally get hit, because even like Delorme and shit, even though he destroyed Lundy got off on him for a half a second. So I think he just finally was like, nah, I'm gonna worry about my defense, too. And that after the first round with Postal, how he switched up on him, and I was like, okay, there we go.
So in my opinion, Victor Postal, in my honest opinion, that's not merit for Hall of Fame just now, as far as him, what he said, him saying his achievements now could get him into the Hall of Fame. So, but yeah, man, as far as that Terrence Crawford, we'll see what happens with, we'll see if anything good could happen with him in 2020. Because he can run in, I'm not saying he's running or hiding. It could definitely be promotion, doing all the talking and setting up your fights, obviously, and they just tell you to fight. They just give you the date, and they have you train for it or whatever. But I don't know, man. It's whatever. You know what I mean? So Terrence Crawford. You know what I mean? I hope he joins the PBC world someday, and we get him to even fight a fight like with Ugas. I would love a fight with Ugas. Give me a guy like Figueroa. I would love a fight with Figueroa. Give me these kind of names.
Fight. Ugas, that's a good call. Ugas would be a good fight.
Yeah.
I mean,
that kind of
somewhat, it'd still be interesting anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But it'd be kind
more
of like
interesting than what he's fighting
140
now.
at that point.
Yeah. It's just, I don't know, man. And or even, Redcat has been looking
he
good,
also wins
obviously.
cleanly too. Thing about Crawford, he wins cleanly. Like Felix Diaz, he tore him up. He wins. He's really started to win cleanly in the last chunk of years. He needs that signature win, though. No doubt about it.
Yeah, he definitely does, man. He definitely does, and I think he was trying to capture it with Khan, but I think he was trying to get like a highlight reel knockout and be spectacular, but we all saw how that ended, and in my honest opinion, I do feel like Khan did take the easy way out and decided just to call it quits and, just go that route, you know what I mean? So it's, it is what it is, fuck it, Crawford, whatever, whatever the hell, Crawford, go listen to the JRE podcast, and, for those people that haven't listened to it, I would go listen to it and watch a Terrence Crawford fight, and and I don't know, whatever the fuck, but but yeah, man, as far as that, Chris, don't have too much to say. This is a late podcast tonight, man. Chris, I want to thank you for having me on, man. Always holding it down for boxing, always holding it down for the West Coast, man. What time is it over there? 2 a.m? 2, 3 o'clock?
Yeah, it's 2.
2? Damn, bro, what the hell? Damn. Dude, you hold it down for like late night podcasts, man. Like that's pretty dope, man. You know what I mean? This works for me. You know what I mean? I'm always down to talk boxing late if whatever. You know what I mean? So I'm always up at this time, so it works out for me beautifully. Big shout out to you, Chris, holding it down. Chris, and college is starting. Starting next week, right? Or next weekend, I believe, or sometime in September. But I'm kind of looking forward to that. The Ducks, obviously, they're over here. It's Oregon, so rooting for them. But
we got a big
game
man, this Saturday against Auburn.
Is it Auburn? Is that that what the news have been talking about that? I don't really know what's going on, but like, is that like are they underdogs in that game, or are they big favorites?
They're underdogs, but just slight. Not really like in the rankings, but I think it's on the road, so I think they are underdogs that way in a sense. But it's
okay.
It's the only ranked versus ranked team going on this week, and that's going to be Saturday night on ABC.
Okay, sweet. All right, hell yeah. See, been looking forward to that now, man. Jeez, I like. I'm going to try to support college games this year, and I know I say that shit every year, but fuck, man. I mean, I'm not going to lie, man. Once that September date hits and all the college games and NFL starts being on the fucking, on the whatever on the weekends and all that shit, that's just pretty lit, man. You know what I mean? It has a cool feeling. So just that has like a fall feeling, than a winter feeling and all that shit. So I love it, man. So but yeah, man, Chris, thank you for having me on, brother. Viva Andy Ruiz, viva Canelo Alvarez, and viva Rope-a-Dope Radio.
Thanks as always, man. You take it easy. We're gonna get out of here. Late night West Coast edition is over. Peace.
So now, as you fight, let's say you fight 4 or 5 years of straight survival, the bullshit, the whole bag, and when you come on champion, like, you know what, I made it. I'm gonna show you it's this. So I'm gonna get every dollar worth of what I deserve. Why? Because I'm the world champion.